Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Truths That Save with Ernest. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the casting of the first stone, the story of Jesus and the prostitute. And that is in John 8, verse 3 to 11. See, the scripture says that the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the very act of adultery, and placing her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman has been caught in the act of adultery. Now, in the law of Moses, it commands us to stone such women. So what do you say?" Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. And as they continued to ask him, he stood up and said to them, "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her." And once more, he bent down and wrote on the ground. But when they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the oldest ones. And Jesus was left alone with the woman standing before him. Jesus stood up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go from now on and sin no more." You see, in this passage, Jesus reveals the profound truth that none of us is without sin. The religious leaders bring the woman before him to test him, ready to condemn her according to the law, but rather than responding with condemnation or judgment, Jesus exposes the hypocritical in their acts. Reminding them to consider their own faults before they pass judgment on other people. His words, "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone," teach us that it is important to be humble. It teaches us the importance of compassion and forgiveness. Jesus reminds us that judgment should be slow. It should not be as quick as we always think of it. We should never claim to be self-righteous, as every person has areas of weakness or sin that they fight with every day. See, when we are tempted to criticize or condemn other people, this teaching invites us to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, how right am I? Rather than casting judgment, we are called to show mercy, just as Jesus does with the woman. This doesn't mean ignoring wrongdoing, no. But it does mean approaching others with empathy, understanding a spirit of forgiveness. It is very important. In our lives, we can apply this teaching by resisting the urge to judge others harshly, especially when we don't know their full story or their struggles. Instead, we can extend grace and offer guidance and kindness to those kind of people. See, Jesus' action shows us that true righteousness is actually grounded in love and mercy. So, before we cast a stone, before we criticize others, before we pass judgment on others, let us remember Jesus' invitation to look within ourselves, seeking understanding, and whenever possible, we must learn to respond with compassion. Let him that is without fault cast the first stone. My dear friends, it is always so easy for us to look at others and condemn, and look at others and say, why would somebody do such a thing like that? But we do not even look at ourselves to see how much we have gone wrong, and to remember how much Jesus has given us mercy. See, Jesus said, "Go and sin no more." He gives you mercy, but he doesn't just let you go like that. He still reprimands. He still commands you to do what is right. And so I want to search within my heart on a daily basis to see what I'm doing wrong and stop doing it. And I want to charge you, my dear friends, that no matter where you find yourself today, you are called to go, but do not continue in that act of sin. God bless you, and see you again on another episode of our podcast, Truths That Save. Please remember to leave a comment, and we'll see you again. Shalom.